The more you learn, the more confused you get. I know that's not what you're used to here, okay? I've heard it many times. The more you learn, the more you earn. But in trading, that does not seem to be true. It doesn't seem to be in alignment with what actually happens out there. The reason being, in my opinion, is that psychology is what makes trading hard. Learning strategies, learning how to analyze charts, what you do in the charts. That is not what makes a trader great. It's not what makes you profitable. What makes a trader profitable or high performing is the ability to flawlessly execute a trading plan, a strategy, and work on improving yourself and your psychology consistently. Now, over time, the way that you trade will, of course, develop. Okay. The way that I trade today is not exactly the same as the way I traded 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 8 years ago, even though the basics or the fundamentals, you might say, has remained the same. The way that I view the market now is basically the same, but the way I execute my trades is way different. And that is because of the experience that I've gathered over the years. One thing that I think many traders would benefit greatly from is to choose a strategy or a model and stick with it for a long period of time. Because I mean, I see so many traders out there with great knowledge, right? They know everything. Okay. They have so broad knowledge. It's almost crazy. They probably know more than me about trading and different strategies and stuff like that. But in trading, it's all about being the best at a very, very small niche, which is your strategy, right? You don't want to know a little about everything. You want to know everything about your chosen field. And in trading, that is your strategy, the markets you trade, the sessions you trade, and so on. So one thing I feel is very important is to focus on gaining clarity, because the more information you put into your head, the more things you have to process, right? It is like filters. I mean, if you look at a chart now and you compare that chart, you're looking at it 5 years ago, you will see different things, most likely, right? Even though it is the same chart. So how is it that the same chart today shows you different things than you saw on the same chart 5 years ago or 2 years ago, or I mean 6 months ago, depending on how long you've been in this game? It all depends on the filters, right? And the information you put into your head is what makes those filters. So when I view a chart, I see things based on my opinion, based on my filters, so to say, right? And the knowledge that I have. The more knowledge I put in here, the more stuff I see. That is what confuses people. So when you see all of these YouTubers, you see all of these courses out there, it's not necessarily that they are bad, but the more information you have, the more things you have to process. So, in my opinion, what you are lacking is not knowledge. What you are lacking is clarity. You need to know exactly what you are looking for. And that means that you will have to choose one model, one person, two, three people maybe that you listen to. And these ideas has to be in alignment. You can't speak to someone who says one thing and look and listen to another one who says a completely different thing, right? You can learn that way in the beginning, but then you will have to choose and go that direction. Because how can you have clarity if you consistently put yourself in a situation where you have conflicting ideas? I mean, this is not about who's right, who's wrong, or nothing like that. That is so low. That is bottom tier, right? So if you want to be a high tier trader, a high performing trader, it's all about clarity. It's all about picking a direction, a concept, and sticking to it and improving your mindset, working on your psychology and your performance with that model. So traders, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that clarity is the most important thing you can have as a trader. That is what you should be reaching for. Today, we live in an age and era where we are drowning in information. There's literally so much out there. So you have to limit the impressions, okay? But most people at the same time are starving for knowledge, right? So I believe the best way you can approach trading today is to pick a model, pick a session, pick a couple of pairs, markets that you trade, and go for it. Stick with it. Work on it for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Don't be like most traders that change strategies over and over and over, never letting themselves master a single model.